If you're going to be shipping products from overseas for your clothing brand, for example, from China, you need to know about duties, customs, and tariffs. If you place a bulk order with a manufacturer in China and they ship the clothes to the US and you do nothing, your shipment will not be delivered. It could get stuck at the border or at the port. You risk losing your goods entirely, and you'll get hit with fees for storage and potential penalties. But if you watch this video all the way to the end, you will make sure you are completely covered and you won't have any issues. The majority of communication when determining the duties and customs for your brand is going to happen between you and the manufacturer. The way that your responsibilities are split up depends on the Incoterms that you agree upon, otherwise known as the shipping terms. There are 4 main shipping terms that we'll cover: ex-works or EXW, free on board or FOB, delivered duty unpaid or DDU, and delivered duty paid or DDP. If you negotiate EXW terms, you will bear all costs and responsibilities from the manufacturer's facility, including customs clearance and duties in the US. The manufacturer provides the goods ready for pickup but does not handle shipping or customs. If you agree upon FOB terms, the manufacturer handles the costs up to the port of shipment, but you take responsibility for import duties and tariffs once the goods arrive in the US. For delivered duty unpaid or DDU, the manufacturer ships the goods but does not pay for duties or tariffs. You'll be billed for these when the shipment arrives in the US. DDP terms are the most ideal. The manufacturer handles everything, including customs duties and tariffs, and delivers the goods to your door or facility. If you negotiate DDP terms, the manufacturer will pay the customs duties upfront and include these costs in your invoice. So you still have to pay for the duties, but without the headaches of handling it yourself. When I get pieces manufactured in China, my manufacturer provides DDP services, which is perfect for me because I have a business to run, I have clothes to design. I don't really want to be dealing with the logistics of customs and imports and duties. The way I determine this with my manufacturer is by sending them a simple text message. I said, as I prepare to expand my business and place more bulk orders with you, I need to know about customs duties related to our work together. Do you have a document with shipping terms, FOB/DDP/DDU? I also need to make sure each product has a label with care instructions, fiber content, country of origin, etc. I'll get to care labels in a second and why those are necessary. My manufacturer replied, we have some cooperative companies that can provide DDP shipping services such as Air DDP or CDDP. The freight forwarder is responsible for the duty. I can ask the shipping price and then I can estimate the total shipping price. However, it can only be estimated because the weight of the goods and the specific shipping cost can only be known after the production is completed. So the weight of the goods is going to affect the shipping cost. I will then use the weight to decide whether I'm going to ship by air or by sea. If the bulk order is really heavy and I'm ordering more than 100 pieces, then it's best to ship by sea because it's way cheaper than shipping by air. However, if I have a pretty light bulk order, maybe I just ordered 50 shirts and I need that order to arrive to the US very quickly, then I will ship by air. So here's a breakdown of the estimated charges. There's a base duty of around 9%. There's a Section 301 tariff for apparel from China of about 8%. There's a merchandise processing fee and then harbor maintenance fee if I decide to ship by freight. If this breakdown is based on a $1,500 bulk order, then roughly a fifth of the cost is added on top in fees and duties. If your manufacturer does not give you DDP or delivered duty paid services, and you need to use one of the other 3 shipping terms, this is how you'll get charged. 9 out of 10 times, you'll need to hire a customs broker. A customs broker can be hired by you or the shipping company, and they will calculate and pay the duties on your behalf. Then the broker sends you an invoice, including customs duties and tariffs, merchandise processing fee, harbor maintenance fee, and any brokerage service fees, otherwise known as their personal fee. If the carrier or freight forwarding service handles the customs for you, they will send you an invoice. Or in some cases, you will just directly pay the CBP or U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Again, unless you've arranged for DDP terms, or delivered duty paid terms where the manufacturer handles everything, the manufacturer typically does not handle US customs and duties. Their responsibility usually ends once the goods are shipped or delivered to the port in the US. I'm not going to go too into the specifics of HTS and Section 301 tariffs, but basically these are duties you need to pay with specific rates depending on what you're shipping. I included a really awesome link to an article that will explain everything about HTS and Section 301 tariffs in the document. And last, before I go over the final checklist, I want to talk about care labels. So I'm sure everyone has seen a care label on a garment that they own. If you don't have care labels on your garments, U.S. Customs and Border Protection may detain your shipment because of laws requiring garments to have specific labeling. If you import goods without labels, they are considered non-compliant, which will result in fines and penalties that are easily avoided. To avoid these issues, ensure that each garment has fiber content with exact percentages of materials like 100% cotton, country of origin like made in China, care instructions, and manufacturer/importer identification, which is the identity of the business responsible for the product. To make sure you are safe when placing a bulk order from overseas, use this checklist. First, communicate with your manufacturer and verify the shipping terms: DDP, DDU, FOB, or EXW. Ensure that you or your broker or your manufacturer, depending on who's handling the duties, understands the HTS classification for your goods. That way you can estimate the duty rates beforehand. Decide whether you'll use a custom broker or manage the process yourself. Make sure that you budget for any duties, tariffs, and additional fees so you don't get surprised by these fees when you have to pay them. And confirm labeling compliance with US regulations to avoid delays. You want to make sure your care labels are all set so that your clothes don't get stuck at the border. If you don't go through this checklist, your shipment will not be delivered, you risk losing your goods entirely, and you'll get hit with fees for storage and potential penalties. If you can check off everything on this list, then you should be good to go, and you have a business that's ready to scale because you won't have to worry about delays related to duties and customs. If you want access to this document, as well as all of my other documents, whiteboards, PDFs, slides, custom GPTs, and more, you can view all my resources at the link in the description. If you learned something new or found this valuable, please like and subscribe. It helps me out so much, and I'll see you in the next one.